Short NBA slates aren't hard. You're just looking at them the wrong way. Most people see 4 or 5 games on the slate, a bunch of large spreads. Like tonight, they just think, oh boy, there's no way I'm winning at this one. Wrong. If you're new here, I'm the prop queen, Ariel Epstein. I help people research their props better. I also use matchups, data, trends, etc. to help you make more informed decisions. Tonight's a perfect example of why short slates don't kill bets. It's the process that does. If you've got a good process, like I have the prop queen method, then you'll be successful even on a short slate with large spreads. I'm going to show you exactly how I condense a board like this and show you exactly where the value lives. Advice number 1, stop betting star players in games with large spreads. For example, Pacers at Knicks. Knicks are laying 12 at home. Total's 225.5. We saw these two play already on December 18th, and the Knicks just won in Indy 114-113. I know that OG Anunoby is questionable tonight for the Knicks. However, if he plays, he is the one Knick player that, according to props.cash, doesn't fall off when the team's winning by 10. Anunoby's averaging just over 16 points per game. He's gotten over 15.5 points in 64% of those home wins by 10 or more points. Against Indiana, Anunoby's averaging just under 17 points a game. Even against teams that are bottom 10 defensively, Anunoby's averaging just over 18 points a game. He is crushing it. And the Pacers, they've allowed the 7th most points per game to their opponents, with 63% of power forwards going over their points prop in the last 10 games against Indiana. This is the perfect matchup, as long as he plays, for OG Anunoby tonight in the Knicks. As for the big man, Karl-Anthony Towns, in this matchup against Indiana, a team that just historically has not had much size, the number was spot on, which is why I'm staying away from Cat tonight. Here's why you should do all the math research like this, the prop queen method, when you look at how certain players do against certain defensive matchups. It's all because the numbers can be absolutely spot on, and sometimes the best bet you can make is to stay away. Cat's props 12.5 rebounds. Against teams that are bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, Cat's averaging just over 13 rebounds a game. However, in home games against teams bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, Cat's averaging 12 rebounds. Spot on. I know the Pacers have allowed the 4th most rebounds per game to their opponents. 80% of centers in the last 10 games have gone over their rebound prop against Indiana. But Cat's number at 12.5, just the numbers are spot on there. Got to stay away. I am a little worried about this one, but trends are trending. And the Pacers' power forward, Pascal Siakam, has been terrible at Madison Square Garden throughout his career. In 10 of his last 11 games, Siakam's gone under 22.5 points. The Knicks, they allow the 6th fewest points per game. 71% of power forwards have gone under their points prop in the last 10 against New York. My only fear, there's no Benedict Mathurin. He's over on the Clippers now, and Siakam does take on a more offensive role with the Pacers without Mathurin on the floor because there's nobody else. That's my only concern, and that's why this number is probably 22.5, despite the fact that Siakam's had terrible numbers at Madison Square Garden throughout his career. The Pacers center, Huff, I would go under 4.5 rebounds for him. He's averaging 3 rebounds per game on the road. He's gone under in 64% of road games this year. The Knicks allow the 5th fewest rebounds per game, with 62% of centers going under their rebound prop when up against New York. Some other notes to make on these defenses. Again, the prop queen method shows you all the time how to look at defenses first, condense the board, and move from there. The Knicks' 4th least assists allowed per game, 9th most threes per game. Their perimeter defense has been so bad the last 2 years. The Pacers allow the 8th least assists per game as well. So you could be looking to some Jalen Brunson unders on assists, but I'm not going to do that. I don't like to fade star players, but I certainly don't like to play overs on them either. Again, those numbers are just so spot on. With a huge spread like this of 12, I'm not going to bet star players. I mentioned the prop queen method. If you're watching this and thinking, how do I do this all myself? I put together a free prop queen checklist, and it's the exact step-by-step process that I use to condense a board like this, eliminate everything else, lock in props that actually matter, and the link's right below this video. First line of description, grab it. It makes nights like this a lot easier to go through this whole checklist of everything to look at before you start condensing the board. Game 2 on the board tonight, Clippers at Rockets. Rockets laying 8.5, total pretty low, 211.5. I usually love Jabari Smith Jr. on the Rockets, but unfortunately tonight it is not a good matchup for him. He's gone under in 3 of his last 5 games at home with Alperen Şengün and Kevin Durant of 13.5 points. The Clippers allow the 9th fewest points per game, and 60% of power forwards have gone under their points prop in the last 10 against the Clippers. He just dropped 18 and 16, and the line's 13.5. This one smells super fishy. I did this last night with Miles Bridges. I saw his points prop and I was like, this number makes no sense. Why is it so low? And the book's telling us it's low for a reason. Jabari Smith Jr., the prop's low, so it's under or nothing for me. I love this one on Kevin Durant. Under 4.5 rebounds or under 9.5 rebounds plus assists. The Clippers allow the 6th fewest rebounds per game, and 60 to 70% of forwards have gone under their rebound prop, but 92% of forwards have gone out under their rebounds plus assists prop in the last 10 games against the Clippers. Again, it's all the same angles, so just pick the market you like. But Kevin Durant, under that 9.5 rebounds plus assists, he is averaging about 7 to 8 rebounds plus assists in games against teams that are top 10 in rebounds allowed this year. And that's what he's getting tonight against this Clippers team that's really good defensively, especially on the boards. It's Kevin Durant under his rebounds plus assists. I'm not playing anything Clippers just because Benedict Mathurin is joining the team and we have no numbers on him. So until we get numbers for that new rotation, including Mathurin, I'm out. Game 3, Mavs at the Suns. Suns are laying 8.5 at home. The total to 28.5. Royce O'Neale, this takes me back. I used to love Royce O'Neale, especially in the playoffs years ago. He was one of my first he was like one of those players that was so under the radar. Over 4.5 rebounds for him tonight. He's actually gone over this in 8 straight games against the Mavericks. 65% of the time he's been hitting this at home, and Dallas is allowing the 3rd most rebounds per game. I know only 41% of power forwards recently have gone over this prop against the Mavs in the last 10, so I am a little worried about the trend not trending anymore. But if, again, you love trends could be your friend here, and Royce O'Neale has gone over this number 8 straight games against the Mavs. A low number that you could also find an edge on, Jalen Green over 2.5 rebounds. He's actually gone over this in all 3 of his home games so far this year. I know he hasn't played that much. But 9 of the last 10 shooting guards have gone over their rebound prop against Dallas, and that's Jalen Green. It's an underrated play of the night to go over 2.5 rebounds for him. I really wanted to bet against Max Christie tonight and take his under on points. His numbers were so spot on, though. I wanted to fade him because Phoenix allows the 5th least points per game. They're allowing 62% of shooting guards in the last 10 to go under their points prop. Yet when Christie faces a team that's even top 10 defensively, he's averaging 14 points a game. So I have to stay away. Couldn't bait it. The numbers just don't add up. That number's a bit too low for me. This one I could back. Mavericks rookie Cooper Flagg under 4.5 assists. He just had 6 back in November against Phoenix, and that really shouldn't happen. Phoenix is allowing the 5th least assists per game. 57% of small forwards in the last 10 have gone under their assist prop. And realistically, the averages just don't make sense. The fact that Cooper Flagg had 6 in the last game is bizarre. He's only averaging just over 3 assists per game against top 10 defenses. If you're facing a top 10 defense, you're also an 8.5 point dog. It's going to be hard for you to put points up, and it's going to be hard for you to find someone to put points up for you if you're dishing the ball out. Cooper Flagg goes under 4.5 assists tonight. Late night, Lakers, Spurs. Spurs laying 9 in LA, and the total's 227.5. There's no Luka again tonight. He's out with a hamstring injury. Lakers on the second leg of a back-to-back. They lost 119-110 to OKC last night. Again, no Luka. So I went through the board of how each player does without Luka, starting with LeBron James. Well, on the second leg of a back-to-back without Luka dating back to last year, LeBron's averaging just under 26 points, just over 7 rebounds, and just over 8 assists. LeBron did have a 22-point game last night. This year, with Ayton, without Luka, LeBron's gone over his points prop in 2 of 3. He only had 19 points on December 10th against the Spurs, and that was with Luka. So it wouldn't surprise me if LeBron's like up against the Spurs tonight saying, "Oh, I'm still the king. I'm going to beat the young Wemby. I could show up." But the Spurs have allowed the 7th least points per game. 57% of small forwards went under their prop in the last 10 games against San Antonio. So again, I don't love to bet stars, especially an old LeBron on a second leg of a back-to-back. But the numbers tell us that he doesn't care and that without Luka, he's putting on shows. Austin Reeves is questionable tonight, but if he does play on the second leg of a back-to-back without Luka, he's averaging 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. Problem is, in games without Luka and with LeBron, Reeves, 44 points, but then 17, 16, and 16. His prop is like 21.5 or 19.5. Either way, it's way too high for Austin Reeves in games with LeBron and without Luka. The one I love the most, Deandre Ayton over 10.5 points. This big man is absolutely crushing it on second legs of back-to-backs. He's crushing it with LeBron, even without Luka. So in games with LeBron, without Luka, Ayton's putting up 17, 12, and 6 points, over 10.5 in 2 of 3. The 6-point game being last night was against OKC. So I like when a player's on the second leg of a back-to-back and just didn't look good in the first game of the back-to-back. We're going to look better tonight. Against the Spurs, he also only had 9 points on January 7th, so changed the game plan. Ayton's averaging 13 points a game on the second leg of a back-to-back this year, going over in 4 of 6. 71% of centers have actually gone over their points prop against this great Spurs defense in the last 10 games. So we're going to feast Deandre Ayton, second leg of a back-to-back without Luka, with LeBron. Don't care. He's going over against the Spurs, who have been struggling to defend these centers in the paint. Lastly, Spurs point guard De'Aaron Fox, over 5.5 assists. This one's a bit juiced, but he's averaging 6 assists per game on the road this year. And the Lakers, 6th most assists per game allowed. 6 of the last 7 point guards to face the Lakers have gone over their assist prop. It looks like a play, according to Props.Cash, that De'Aaron Fox should go over this number of 5.5 assists. If this breakdown has helped you, don't stop here. The more that you watch, the more you're going to learn. Plus, the more you watch and the more you subscribe and the more you like, the more I could put this out. It helps a lot. So make sure to click one of the next videos that pops up on your screen so you could learn more about how to utilize the Prop Queen method, because it's not just about using it in the NBA. It works in all different sports, at least the professional sports. I don't trust college kids. Good luck to your bets tonight.